What's up, Bills Mafia? I got to tell you something. A lot of people owe Matt Araiza an apology. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is Phase Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, as all of you know, this Tuesday, Matt Araiza was cleared of the civil lawsuit that the alleged victim filed against Matt Araiza in 2021. As you guys know, the actual case was also dropped last year by the prosecutors because the evidence showed that Matt Araiza left the party and was not even there when the alleged incident occurred. Listen, guys, I gotta say, this is why I tell you guys all the time, do not automatically jump to conclusions. Do not automatically say somebody is guilty of what they are being accused of, because sometimes things like this can backfire on you and make you look really, really bad. And I got to say, man, I still think a lot of Bills content creators were in the wrong. And I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do that. But it's wild to me that they still haven't come out and at least addressed the situation, apologized and said they were wrong. Listen, I am first to admit when I'm wrong. I am first to admit when I'm wrong about a player or a coach. I'll tell you, hey, I'm wrong. That guy turned out to be a good coach, a good player, or, I thought he was going to be good and he was bad. Like, I'll eat crow no matter what. And I really feel like a lot of Bills Mafia or a lot of Bills content creators, including Bills Mafia, actually, really went away from this story. And they were quick to jump into the story back in 2022. They had very strong opinions about Matt Araiza and the situation he was going through. You all know how I felt. You all know how Mikey felt, my co-host. And I got to say, at the time, when the Bills released Matt Araiza, the only reason I and my co-host Mikey agreed with that decision was really for Matt Araiza's sake. You got to remember, this kid was fighting for his life, literally. I mean, I'm being honest with you guys. That allegation of what happened, and I can't say the word here because I could get demonetized on YouTube, but you all know the word GR, okay? Is a very, very serious offense. Underage, on top of that, and that could lead to some serious time in prison. And for a young kid, I believe he was 22 at the time, I believe the Bills did the right thing because I think it was the right thing for Matt to go out, get a lawyer, and really concentrate on saving his life potentially. You got to remember that's something that not only would you go away for a long time, but that's something that would follow you the rest of your life. That's something that will never go away. You will be known as that person. You'll be in the system. It's a nightmare. It really is. And the people that deserve to be locked away for life. Okay. In my opinion, that's a terrible thing. But as you guys know, he was innocent, you know, and it was proven by video, by the way. Let's get into this real quick. This quick story, real quick that they were breaking, and then we'll go into it.
Do you remember former rookie Buffalo Bills punter Matt Araiza was accused last year, along with 4 of his former college teammates, of gang raping a 17-year-old girl at a party? Well, now he's going to be dropped from the lawsuit filed by the accuser. This after it became pretty clear he wasn't even at the party, much less in the room at the time of the alleged rape. Well, now that he's been cleared legally, the once highly touted prospect is planning to try to return to the NFL. But is the damage to his career beyond repair? His lawyers announced the settlement yesterday, saying in part, quote, "The win is bittersweet. Matt has been forced to defend himself for the last 16 months against false accusations in a campaign to ruin his career in the NFL. He will never get this time in his life back." As part of the settlement, Araiza will be removed from the accuser's civil lawsuit next week. In return, he agreed to dismiss a defamation countersuit that he filed against her. No money is going to be exchanged. But here's an interesting point. Araiza is reserving the right to sue her attorney, Dan Gillian. Araiza talked about the suit earlier today.
He lied time and time again, and specifically through the media, which caused me so much damage. Had he just filed the lawsuit and not gone on a big media tour, it might be a different story, but the way he handled it was unbelievably unprofessional. Going to Twitter, starting this big social media campaign, it was quite ridiculous, and he'll be held accountable for his actions.
Absolutely. Listen, man, you know, very unprofessional by the lawyer of the alleged victim to do what he did. Made things way worse for Matt Araiza. And like I said, if you go back on Twitter, you go back to all the, you know, anybody that did a video on Matt Araiza when this was all happening, people were just bashing this kid, knew nothing about the incident, weren't there, didn't understand everything that took place. And by the way, I do want to touch on this real quick, because I really feel a lot of people are wrong in this, because I like I said, I'm not going to name names, but I heard other content creators, Bill's content creators, talk about this. That he's a scumbag because she was underage. It doesn't matter anyways. He admitted being with her. And no, this is true. This is true. He admitted to being with her prior to the incident, you know, way earlier in the party. She did lie about her age, which everyone that was at the party addressed. Okay. They all said she lied, that she was saying she was 18. Matt Araiza was 20, guys. You're talking about a 2-year difference. And she said she was 18 and she was 17. He was 20. Guys, 17 and 18 are super, super close in age and looks. It's not like she was 14 years old or 15 and he was like, you could totally tell she's 14 years old. 17 and 18 are very, very close. And a girl would absolutely get away with saying she's 18. And listen, you're at a college party where college kids are drinking. No one is asking for IDs at a college party. If you say you do, then you are lying. I'm sorry. Were you ever in college? Were you ever a teenager? Did you really ask for a girl's ID if she told she was 18? Stop it. And she's, by the way, with other girls that are 19, 20, 21. So it's wild to me that some content creators are still acting like this kid's such a scumbag. He's with an underage girl. Stop it. Like guys, like that's absolutely outrageous. 20 and 17 once. By the way, isn't even the worst thing in the world. I'm just throwing that out there. But she said she was 20. I'm sorry. She said she was 18. And he was 20 at the time. Stop. Like, that's outrageous. This kid's due an apology, man, by a lot of people. And I told you guys from the very beginning when this lawsuit got handed down, when I was doing this in 2022, talking to you guys about the Matt Araiza situation. And I told you, I wasn't there. So I can't tell you this guy's guilty. And I'm not saying that she's lying. But sometimes we got to sit back and let everything play out so we can see all the evidence and let it all play out first before we start judging people. But no, that's not what we do in today's society. Today's society, you're guilty no matter what, because it sounds so terrible. Oh my God, the allegations are so awful. He must have done it. There's no way he's innocent. Guilty, 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 guilty. Guys, man, like, do you see what happened to this kid? Do you see what happened? Right? Nobody in the NFL right now is giving this kid an opportunity. Now, I know that he worked out for the Jets, but he didn't get the job. And from everything I heard was NFL teams weren't going to give him an opportunity, a real opportunity, until the civil case was dropped. Well, now it's dropped. And I would be shocked if an NFL team doesn't pick him up next season. Believe it or not, he is a game changer in that position. The dude could kick 80-yard punts. He could change how the game goes, right? I'm just saying, like, think about it. Especially in Buffalo. And that's why they drafted him. You're in your back, you're on your side of the field. He could change field position like that on one punt. You guys saw it when he punted 82 yards in his preseason debut. 82, by the way, it wasn't like just bouncing around and got lucky because the wind took the ball. And I'm going to show you the highlight because why not? I would absolutely love if the Buffalo Bills decided to bring back Matt Araiza at least in the offseason and compete for the starting punting job. Because right now, I got to say, Sam Martin's terrible, playing terrible, punting awful. You can't punt that way in Buffalo, especially late in the season, December, January, where the wind's picking up, snow, bad weather, whatever. We would love a punter like Matt Araiza to change field position just like that. Let's get to what Matt Araiza.
That I'll be able to regain my NFL career. I'm confident that I'll be able to regain my NFL career whenever that is. I believe it's more of a when, not an if. And again, just trying to focus on football when I get there. When I was cut, I was an NFL starter. I just beat out a veteran, and I was on a 4-year contract, and that won't be handed back to me. No one in the NFL is going to go, oh, here's the job that you once had. So working to regain where I was at is my primary goal right now. I'm confident that I'll be able to regain.
Yeah, man. Unbelievable. Let's get back to the story here that they were talking about earlier as well.
A now deleted Twitter account, the attorney posted in August of 2022, quote, Araiza offered us cash before he made the cut. We ignored the Bush League offer and filed a case. Back in May, Gillian didn't hold back when he was right here on News Nation on Cuomo.
What you're going to see is a very arrogant young man, sexist young man, that is really, what he's doing here is he's trying to slut shame his victim by saying that the reason I asked her how old she was because she was being very sexual. So I said, hey, how old are you? And she said 18. Baloney.
Now,
this guy, I'm going to tell you right now, that Gilliam, I hope Matt Araiza does sue him. Unbelievable. Who he asked her age because he thought she was slutty. What maybe he asked her age because sometimes that's what we do. If we're at a party, she's 18, around even 18. I mean, she's still underage drinking, right? But it's college. Everybody underage drinks in college. Stop. If you guys don't think that's true, come on. Where did you grow up? Stop it. So it's unbelievable. The things this guy was putting out there to the media about Matt Araiza. It's just not right. It's just not right. And yeah, man, like I said, the kid lost already, what, 2 years of football. He had a 4-year contract. He's not getting that back. He's to re-earn that wherever he goes, whatever team decides to bring him in, and now he has to get that back. But the time lost that he, just fighting for his life, really, he can never get that back. All right, let's return to this.
She had initially alleged that during a house party near the campus of San Diego State in 2021, the punter led her into a bedroom where at least 3 other men were waiting. The lawsuit alleged, quote, once inside, Araiza threw the accuser onto the bed face first. She went in and out of consciousness while suffering through the horrific gang rape, which the lawsuit claimed lasted for an hour and a half. But after a month-long investigation, the DA decided not to pursue criminal charges. Prosecutors determined that Araiza wasn't even at the party when the alleged incident occurred. Araiza has always maintained that any sexual encounter he had with the girl was consensual. Prosecutors at least seem to have agreed. But is this too late for his NFL career? He was initially called the punt god during his record-setting college career. He was promptly cut by the Buffalo Bills after the accuser's civil lawsuit. He worked out with the New York Jets in May, wasn't signed. Yahoo Sports says numerous teams told him they'd be hesitant to employ Araiza as long as the civil suit was pending, which would seem to no longer be an issue. Joining us now is Kerry Armstrong, attorney.
So we'll stop that for now. Yeah, like I said, man, I told you guys earlier, teams weren't going to touch him until the civil lawsuit was dropped. It's such a serious allegation, guys. You have no idea how serious that is. So now that everything's done with, and by the way, man, I am surprised that he stopped his lawsuit against the girl because I mean, wow, like did she lie about what occurred that night and really put this kid through hell? And she should also pay for that as well. Now, I don't know what happened with the other gentlemen that were at the party that she still, by the way, that she still has a civil lawsuit against. So I can't speak for them. I don't know them. I once again, I wasn't there, but I can tell you this: if she lied about Matt Araiza and that whole thing, which she sounded, if you read that, what she said, she sounded like pretty sure that's what occurred and that's what Matt Araiza did. And clearly that's not what happened. So trust me when I tell you, prosecutors are going to have a really tough time with her character, right? I'm just being honest with you guys. And, once you lie, it's tough to come back from that. Let me show you one more thing, guys. Why not? Why not? So let's if you guys remember this, why not? Let's play this real quick with the mute down here. See if I can get it full screen for you guys. Look at that. I mean, guys, look at that. From the 10. That thing doesn't even drop to like the 10. I mean, guys, that's wild. That is a wild. I would absolutely love to have that guy back on our team. Take him right now. Absolutely. I would be shocked if he doesn't get an opportunity somewhere else if it's not in Buffalo. And I don't know what listen, he did say that Brandon Beane, well, not Brandon Beane, I apologize. He did say that people from the Bills organization and Bills players, some Bills players have been talking with him, this whole time. So I am curious on who was talking with him, like what personnel, what people in the organization. Was it the ownership? Was it Brandon Beane? Was it Sean McDermott? Was it special teams coach? what players were still in contact with Matt Araiza, checking in on him. You know, very interesting to see, you know, or know who really was talking with him all the time. Just want to read this real quick as well. See if I can get a good. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get that. So I know you guys probably can't read that. So let me. Man, it sucks that I can't get that on screen. So I'll get it right here. So basically, you know, to give you a rundown of all that happened. So in 2021, it occurred at a house party. You know, we already went through all that. In 2022, the Bills cut Araiza. We know this right before the season began. And then, you know, in his statement for the lawyer, says the win is bittersweet. Araiza's lawyer, Dick Sarmajian, stated Matt has been forced to defend himself for the last 16 months against false accusations in a campaign to ruin his career in the NFL. He will never get this time in his life back. And the initial claims were graphic and troubling. The woman, who was 17 at the time, alleged that Araiza, then a star player at San Diego State, participated in a violent assault, including bringing her into a bedroom with numerous other men. The suit claimed that Araiza threw the girl onto the bed face first, and she suffered through the horrific that lasted an hour and a half and left her bloody and crying. Araiza always admitted to having with her earlier in the evening, but not to knowing that she was 17. He said he assumed she was older because it was a college party, and she told other people that she was 18. He vehemently denied any other contact with the woman. And then SDSU, San Diego State University local police, and the San Diego County Prosecutor's Office conducted lengthy investigations into the allegations and declined to charge Araiza. And then here's what the attorney said. He wasn't even at the party anymore, Deputy District Attorney Trisha Amador explained in a recording meeting with the woman. Amador later said of the timeline of events, all I know is that at this point, suspect Araiza is gone from the party. I'm looking at the videos of the tape. I absolutely cannot prove any forcible assault based upon what happened. It's wild. And then down here it says, we cannot overstate the importance to our system of justice of the presumption of innocence. Matt has always maintained his innocence, despite the public outcry that resulted when he was falsely accused of crimes and civil assault. Thankfully, there was extensive evidence that was the key to securing Matt's voluntary dismissal from this lawsuit. Matt was and has always been innocent, said his lawyer. The case is over, and Matt has prevailed. He now has the full intention of returning to the NFL in hopes of resuming a successful punting career. And let's hope that happens for Matt Araiza. He's due that. And like I said, I think he's due an apology by a lot of people. Bills Mafia, Bills content creators, anyone else that was bad-mouthing him outside of Buffalo. And there was a lot of people, by the way, a ton of people, right? National media owes him an apology. A lot of apology is due to this kid because it just wasn't right. It wasn't right. You didn't know the full story, and yet you were quick to jump on in front of a camera and bash this kid for something that you didn't know about. That's something all you did was read, you know, what was said about him. And once I just, and that's why, guys, you know, when it comes down to stuff like this, the Von Miller incident, you know, in the bye week, Shady McCoy, you know, back in 2017 when he got accused of something, right? Ed Oliver, DUI arrest, and everyone was saying cut him, and how could he drive drunk and terrible person. He wasn't even driving. He didn't even have a drink that day. 0. Blew a 0. Case dropped. And people are so quick to judge somebody off what they hear, not knowing the circumstances. And by the way, even if he did get, let's just say hypothetically he got a DUI, cut him like you've never made a mistake in your life. I get it. It's bad. It's terrible. Shouldn't be driving drunk. Absolutely. I'm against that. But it's a mistake. It's something that people learn from, and you pay for your mistakes. But in his case, he didn't do anything wrong. Once again, now there is incidents where people are guilty. No doubt about it. Of course, we know this. Ray Rice, right? Just saying. Patrick Peterson, right? Or I'm sorry, Adrian Peterson. Patrick Peterson. Adrian Peterson. Guys, it happens all the time, right? Sometimes you got to just let things play out, okay? Without judging somebody so quick that it backfires on you and you look really bad. And like I said, I'm glad I didn't have to come on here and do an apology video saying I was wrong about, Matt Araiza and what I said about him, because I was fair through the whole thing, and so was Mikey. And we said, yo, let this thing play out before we throw this guy under the bus and run him over 50 times, right? And, I will say, though, I at the time, and I still believe if this happened again, I still would say, I think it's the best idea for that, the Bills to do what they did, because it's such a serious allegation. But I also think, in my opinion, I think Brandon Beane owes it to Matt Araiza to give that kid another opportunity in the offseason. I really believe that. And I don't know who's I don't know who has been talking to Matt Araiza this whole time, because he said players and people from the organization. I hope it is Brandon Beane, and I hope Brandon Beane does this kid right and says, hey, man, I would love for you to come back to Buffalo and earn that punt job again. And I think Matt Araiza would absolutely earn it, get it, and get that contract again. And if it's not here, it's going to be somewhere else, guys. So Matt Araiza, man, I know you ain't going to, I don't know if you're watching this, or maybe you will, maybe you won't. But I wish you well, man. I guess I'll do it for everyone else that threw you under the bus, badmouthed you, made you out to be this evil person. I apologize for them, and I really wish you the best. And I hope to see you on an NFL field very soon. So Bills Mafia tonight is Mafia Means Family podcast. That's at 8:00. Normally it's at 7:30. They moved it to 8. So 8 o'clock, they're going to be previewing the Bills-Cowboys game. And Friday Night Lights, me and Mikey will be back at 8:30. We will also be previewing the Bills-Cowboys game, which is such an important game, guys. So important. We need to win this game. We need to win all of our games, the remaining 4 left. But I think if we, I truly believe we win this game this Sunday, we can win out the rest of the games this year, and quite possibly win the AFC East if the Dolphins wind up losing to either Baltimore or Dallas, which I think they will, and then losing to us week 18. So, man, it's getting good, guys. So, anyways, guys, Bills Mafia, I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.
And look at him go! He could go all the way! Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah,